So yesterday I done a Patreon group ride at Comrie Croft and it was a fantastic day, good sunshine, all the good stuff. However, there was one thing that was kind of highlighted for me, and that is the fact that my current camera setup does not work for a group ride, and actually it doesn't work for a lot of scenarios. So I've been thinking about what to do about this. I have an option that I have used before. I'll go into that, I'll go into my current setup, and then I'll also go into a potential new setup and some ways around some less than ideal things on it. So my first setup, or my current setup, is with a Giro Switchblade, which is a fantastic helmet in most ways. The looks are not to everyone's tastes, but the coverage on the sides and the back is excellent, and it is a very safe helmet, and that's what helmets are for. I have my chin mount, so this is a removable chin piece. I'll put it on in a second. You'll see it's covered in a nice furry jacket, and that keeps all the wind noise out. This was actually made for me by a patron, Charlie, and it works really well. Remoview make one as well, but they do all these daft colours, so Charlie made me a black one, which obviously goes with the helmet. Charlie also gave me the helmet, actually inadvertently, afterwards. So this is a second-hand helmet, but it does the trick just perfect. For those asking how I mounted it, it's a pole strapped and siliconed in basically, and you can see just the standard fixing there. I don't have a thumb screw, I cut one back and just used a screwdriver, so set and forget. So that's pro number one. It's very easy to take on and off, just like so. The other pro is I get excellent protection. I also have full face protection when I'm filming. It's also a very natural POV, as in it's attached to my head, so the camera looks where I look, which makes things much more immersive, and things that you probably naturally would be wanting to see in the video, I will be looking at anyway, whereas with a gimbal or a chest strap, you are very restricted on what you can look at. So that's some more pros. The other pro is the image stabilization in good light is very good on the Hero 7, and it makes it much more watchable. So those are the pros. The cons are, and there's a few unfortunately, if I want to film, I have to wear this. And even without the chin bar, the helmet gets hot. This is a hot helmet, it's not got a great deal of ventilation in it. Things are made much worse when the chin bar is on. If I want to ride some fairly mellow trails at trail centres and I still have to wear a full face helmet, it's not the coolest look and it's massively overkill. And also, I don't always have somewhere to put this chin piece. I'm not always wearing my backpack, and it can be quite uncomfortable on my waist strap off a bum bag or whatever. Sorry, a hip pack. So there are some problems. It's not perfect, and I found that yesterday on my Patreon group ride I wasn't wanting to wear this. I was getting too hot, and I was having to pop it on and off, and as a result I was actually missing capturing the story and a few scenarios that went on because I never got this back on in time. So now we're going to look at an alternative setup that I have used before, and we're going to the pros and cons of that. Okay, so alternative setup number one is the Karma grip with the Hero 4 Black. Now I have used this a few times, and actually this is what BKXC uses to film as well, although he has the extension cord and he actually puts the grip in his backpack with an external battery, which gives him a long time running with this setup. I personally run this, which I'll show you in a minute, on the chest as it is. Now the good things about this are obviously it's very stable. In fact, it is one of, if not the most stable gimbal that you can get for mountain biking. It's also really well built. The battery lasts a long time, and with the Hero 4 the audio is extremely good. Now, so then you'd be thinking, well, what's wrong with that? That's basically everything that you would want, and that's what most people need. The problem comes from my lack of experience and ability to color grade, because in order to get the image to look good from the Hero 4, you need to basically color grade in post. So you shoot flat color profile, you have everything as bland as you can, and then in post, in editing, you then bring out the colors, bring out the depth, adjust your exposures and get the image quality just right. Now, I have proven that I am not that great at it. Possibly to you guys watching, you don't notice any difference, but if you compare one of my Hero 4 videos with the likes of BKXC, my image just doesn't touch it. So that is the perfect setup if you can color grade well. I can't, but give me time, maybe I'll get better at it. So what is the alternative way around this? Well, I'll show you. So the answer is to use the Hero 7 Black in the camera grip. It's not quite as simple as that though. You will see how I've done quite a lot with wind covering here, and I'll go into that in a second. Now, the good things about the Hero 7 is the dynamic range and the ability to adapt to different light changes from dark to light and light to dark and through trees, etc. The Hero 7 does a far better job. It also has better colours just as standard, so I don't actually colour grade my Hero 7 footage. It actually just comes out really quite well. And then finally, something I forgot to mention, the Hero 4 does not do Super View in 4K, whereas the Hero 7 does. So what that means, Super View basically stretches the image vertically, which means you get the bike and more of the trail in shot than you would on a Hero 4, whereas a Hero 4 just shoots wide. Now for me, that's massive. That is a really good advantage to have. I want a fully immersive shot, stabilised and in good colour, and less work for me to do in post. The one single big problem with the Hero 7 is the audio is not as good as the Hero 4, and audio is actually way more important than what you'd expect in a mountain bike video. People like to hear the trail noise, they like to hear crisp, distinct noises of different surfaces under your tyre, and that's what I personally like as well. So the Hero 7 has 2 microphones, and unfortunately, for some reason, when it's in the camera grip, the audio is not as crisp as the Hero 4. So I have made some changes, which we'll go into now. So you will see I have 2 wind covers to cover each mic, and you'll also notice some duct tape or Gorilla Tape. Now, I actually put duct tape facing the opposite way on the underside, and then I stuck some soundproof fur on there. I've also pierced the hole for the microphone. The same is true for the side. This is just a standard Rycote wind cover, wind jammer, or whatever you call it. And then you'll notice the funny thing is I've actually got the tape sticking out the front. Now, what I noticed was the wind was actually getting in front of in between the camera and the frame itself. So I've actually put these in, and that basically seals off that wind noise that I was getting additionally. Now, this is only something I've just noticed recently, and now with that it actually keeps the wind noise out, which means I can keep the camera in stereo mode, and subsequently the audio, fingers crossed, is much better. So that's the theory behind it. I'm hoping that these little modifications I've made and a little bit of in-post tuning for the audio will mean that I can actually use this. And what that means is on a group ride, I can just have this sitting on my chest, recording all the time. It won't interfere with my, the helmet. I can wear a lighter helmet, not be so hot on a hot day, and it hopefully will be an alternative solution. The chin cam has totally got its place, and I'll be using that very much in the future, especially for hiker bikes and primarily downhill days. But for days where I'm up and down and group rides and a little bit of everything, I think the chest cam is the best way to go. So I've only just recently bought a official GoPro chesty. Before I'd just been running any cheap ones I could get off the internet for as cheap as possible. But I noticed this came down from like £40 to about £23, so I bought one, and it is much more comfortable and a bit more streamlined as well. So first thing, we click that together. Now I wear my chest cam quite high and I angle it quite far down. I notice some other people wear them really low, but I like to have it quite high. It's more out the way of the bike. I'll just cover my nipples here. So I also run one of the smaller GoPro mounts rather than the J mounts, which bring it further away from your chest. The closer to the chest it is, the more stable it is, in my opinion. So I'll stick that on. And then, so you see the problem is that's still loose. So now I've actually got, oh, wait for it. So I've actually used a modified head strap when I've just taken the overhead part off, and I just put the loop through there, and that just gives me that additional support that holds everything stable and tight to my chest. And actually, having worn the alternative gimbals, this setup is actually more comfortable despite what it looks like. So now you can see that it doesn't go anywhere. So it's properly solid, nice and tight, it's nice and compact. I've got all my controls just here, or alternatively I can use the controls on the camera itself. And at this point I actually angle quite far down to try and get as much of the bike in shot and make it more immersive. So yeah, let's go ride the bike and see what this sounds like. If I can get the audio good, I think we're on to a winner. Let's go. Okay, we are now in the camera. Let's go for a ride. Let's get the power on. So what's the noise like? Can you hear my voice clear or not? Usually the first thing to suffer is a muffled voice. So we're at Athol Hill in Dunkeld at the moment. Not sure what trails I'm going to hit right now, but I'll make a decision at some point. Plenty of good trails to choose from, that's the main thing. Quick wee note for the my e-bike argument. This is an incredibly steep hill that I have never, ever, and will never be able to cycle up on a conventional bike. But I can on my Levo. And I promise you, I'm not churning up the trails. Behind me is exactly the same as what was in front of me. Fantastic. So I'm already loving the fact that I can just reach down, press one button, and the camera is ready to go, ready to record straight away. Oh, this is steep. There we go. Getting there, getting there. Just getting more like a single track. Okay, we are at the top, ready to descend. The gimbal has been comfortable so far. Now obviously my head can look around, but you guys are just looking forward, so there's one of the downsides. Now things are going to get a little bit dark. It's coming up for 6, it's quite overcast. We're going to get into the trees. Now definitely I think with these conditions, with the chin cam, the image stabilization would half get switched off and things would get a bit wobbly. So hopefully this thing might be a bit grainy, but it should still be super stable. Well, it definitely will be stable the whole way through, so it should be much more watchable. Right, let's go. Yeah, it's pretty damn dark in here. Oh, oh Jesus. I nearly got harpooned in the eyeball by a branch. Thankfully I've got big glasses on. That could have been catastrophic. Even on the e-bike, I still never made up there. That's embarrassing. I forget what this trail's called, but we are heading for a trail called All the Way to the Bottom. And it's a steep one, and it's a banger. Nice. Trail's flowing well. It's dry, but not blowing out. It's ideal. Oh, a deer, a couple of deer. Oh, well, there's another problem with the gimbal. We could see the deer there, but you guys could not. A couple of roe deer just shooting away. Back up the hill. Scared off by the scary mountain bike noises. A guy talking to himself in the woods. Really tight against the rocks there. This trail was closed, but all seems well again. They have been felling. Oh wow, they really have been felling. That's quite a shock. Yeah, a very different scene here now. I see where I want to go. So the good news is, it looks like the trees have not been cut down where I need to go. So hopefully the trail, known as All the Way to the Bottom, is still operational. And that's nice. What's up here? I was wrong. The forest is down. Damn. Damn. Oh well, trail forks it is. Let's see what other options we've got. Trail forks. Oh, here we are. We've got two trails here. Oh. Well, there is a blue. The Real Cave Pass. Which means going back the way I came. Okay, back it is. So it's quite windy. How is the wind noise? Do a proper test to the camera. So this is more of a walking path, but thankfully there was only one other car in the car park, so the chances of meeting people are slimmer than normal. Jesus, that was a mess. Ah, same trail anyway. It just cuts down. Oh, rather sleepily, may I add. Okay. Wow, this is pretty cool actually. It's marked as a blue in trail forks, but oh, a bit peeled left there. I'm going to keep going and hope this is the right bit. Well, I've seen bike tyre marks, so this must be roughly the right way. Oh, we've got no marks in the camera, that's good. Oh yeah, this is turning out to be a bit of a 10. Oh, steep. Up and over. Cool, this has turned out to be quite a good trail, considering it could have been a disappointment. Quite narrow here. Oh, that is off camber. Oh, there is a high line that I missed. Joins back on. Remember that for next time. Right, back on trail. Oh, extremely off camber. Try not to touch the brakes. See if the grippers grip. Oh, there are a couple of deer, you should see them. Yes, this would be a nightmare in the wet. Very, very slimy. With the extreme off-camber nature. Lovely. Okay, so I've still got plenty of energy left, and I am riding an e-bike, so I'm going to head and do a trail called Hush Hush, and hopefully I can hit that one a little bit faster, as I have ridden it a couple of times before. Although that last trail was pretty damn cool. Hopefully next time I can hit it even better, now that I know roughly what to expect. And just like that, we're at the top and good to go. There's a couple of hidden things in behind the roadies there. Caught me out. Oh, I hope the trail noise is coming through, because it's really nice. A lot of creaks coming off the bike right enough. I need to strip her down and give her a wee grease. A re-grease. Seems like an ever constant job. Oh, particularly sweet. Another thing I forgot to mention about the benefits of the gimbal is, because the gimbal stays still, you can really see the bike moving about, get an idea of what the rider is having to do to make the trail work. So the bike dynamics are a lot clearer on the gimbal. Woo! As are wheelies. Oh, there we go. Really try to make this e-bike play around a bit. What a trail. What a sweet trail. Fantastic. Oh, good times. So at this stage I have no idea how that footage, or more to the point audio, came out, but hopefully it worked. Only you guys will truly know at this point whether it was any good or not. If the audio doesn't come out well, I always have the option of adding, using an external source for audio and matching it in, because I know that the video and everything about it, the dynamic range, the response to light changes, is far superior, and the stability is second to none. So if the audio is not there, there are ways around it, but obviously that adds more complication both to the day and in post. So if this is good enough, I will be a very happy boy, and it will give me another option for the future, and hopefully be able to capture more of each ride and wear maybe a slightly cooler helmet. And yeah, options are never a bad thing. So thanks for watching. I look forward to hearing some of your feedback or any suggestions. So thanks again, and we'll see you in the next one.